Come on.
Happy Football Sunday, everybody. It is week 14. Welcome to the Sunday Tailgate. I'm Stacy, your host, and I am joined today by one of my very favorites. We got Kyle Zeigler here. He's from Fantasy and Frames. You can find him on Wednesday nights over with Fourth and Frames. Him and the guys are just giving you guys so much good info over there. Make sure to check them out. Kyle, happy Sunday. How's your Sunday going so far?
Oh, it's going great. You know, last night, though, I was watching some college football, and we were doing like a presents with our kids, and my wife was I was going to get up on the chair to put the presents up, and she's like, no, you got a bad back, let me do it. And she fell. And
no.
Yeah, she did.
Is she okay?
She is good. Yeah, she's strong. She's strong like an ox. She's good. But yeah, she was more embarrassed than anything, but yeah, she is good to go. Got the kids at the park right now, so she's fine. But yeah, it was scary in the moment, but yeah, she's good.
No good deed goes unpunished at all. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, we are going to be coming at you with our starts, our sits today. We are going to be bringing you all the latest injury news, all the, last minute fantasy advice. It's week 14. So for, I think, the majority of people, this is your last week before you're heading into the playoffs. So if you are kind of on the cusp of making the playoffs, this is a really important week for you. Maybe you've already locked in your first round bye or something like that. It's not quite as stressful. But for a lot of you, I know me, I've got a couple leagues out there where, I'm counting on a lot of guys to have really good days today. So we're going to try to bring you all the best info so that you can get in the playoffs and, make yourself some money a little bit today. Throw your comments on into that comment section. Jamie, what's up? Thank you for hanging out with us today. And for those of you, we are also doing a TikTok live right now. So if you are on TikTok, you're watching or listening, and you want to get your questions in, put those on into the YouTube. You can find that over at the Player Profiler Now YouTube channel. We are live right there. So you just look that up and we should be one of the ones that just pops right up. So you can get your comments in that way. To want to make sure that we get to everybody's questions as they come in. But we got a lot of really great games today. I'm not biased at all. We got the Packers Bears today, and I don't know, man, Kyle, I have been literally just watching Packer Bears hype videos for the last 2 days. And I could not be more pumped for this game at 4:30 today.
I actually have a friend from Milwaukee. He's a big Packers fan, of course. And was it when you guys played the Eagles? Yeah. He was like, or the Eagles played the Bears, right? And he asked me, he goes, who do I root for? As a Packer fan, we need the Eagles to lose, but it's the Bears.
I'm like, that's what we root for.
I told him, I was like, unfortunately, I told him to root for the Eagles because you got to take care of your division first. So worry about that and then worry about the bye later because you got to win the division first.
Absolutely. Down with the Bears. I was so disappointed with the Eagles in that game. I really needed them to step it up for those of us in the NFC North, and they just could not get it done. Which is kind of like the theme of their season so far. But yeah, Jamie, I do think you're a 13-year-old girl. Don't be hating on TikTok, okay? A lot of good info on TikTok. There's a ton of really great fantasy accounts on TikTok too. And then there's also stupid cat videos. So, pick your poison. It's fun all the way around. Whatever you like, you can find it there. Just so you guys, in case you guys weren't aware, the Bears are in fact 2-16 versus the Packers since December 7th of 2015. They did win in January of this year at Lambeau, so I don't like that. I don't love that their coach is getting them all hyped up and everything. They seem like they've really been killing it the last couple weeks. But, I have a good feeling about this game today. I think Jordan Love is going to show up. We get Jaden Reed back. We're going to talk about him in a little bit too. If you've been waiting for, several weeks, if you've held him on your IR, you're going to want to know, are we starting him or are we not? So hang on tight for that. We've also got a good Sunday night game, a really good Sunday night game tonight. We've got Houston at KC. Yeah, they're at KC. So
Yep.
I don't know what I feel like this is kind of like do or die for the Chiefs right now. They're
Oh,
6-6.
yeah, totally. And I know a lot of people kind of are writing off the Chiefs, but
Yeah,
I don't know if you can ever write Patrick Mahomes off. I mean,
no,
he'll probably somehow find a way back in the hunt, or
yeah,
severely, like seriously back in the hunt. I know they're in the hunt now, but they'll find their way somehow, some way. It's the Chiefs.
right. I mean, like I think you're right. Like if unless they are absolutely mathematically eliminated,
Right.
there's still a concern. I think you still have to kind of. It's still the Chiefs. They're still Patrick Mahomes. I think that's going to be a really great game, though. Houston's actually been like looking pretty good. They've been looking a lot better than they did beginning of the season.
Yeah, they have. And I'm kind of looking forward to it's not really I know to a lot of people it's probably not that exciting because it's probably is going to be low scoring, but I'm really into the Steelers and Ravens game. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
wait for that. I just love this classic AFC North rivalry. I got a soft spot for the Ravens. I used to live there for 5 years for work, and me
Mhm.
being a Titans fan, of course, Derrick Henry fan. Would love to see him win a ring. I'm rooting for him. It doesn't look very good this year, but you never know. And this game, it does have a lot on the line, right? Both 6-6,
Mhm.
first meeting of the year between them. I'm excited for it. The winner of this game in the driver's seat for that AFC North. So I'm pumped for it, even though it probably is going to be very low scoring and not exciting to most.
I don't know though. I think those divisional matchups are always really good.
Yeah.
And the Steelers have so much writing on this. Like I mean, they got booed out of their own stadium last week. So, question for you, not on the show sheet. I'm going off the rails. Do you think Tomlin makes it through the season, or do you think they fire him in the offseason, or do you think he stays and it's never, where it's not an issue anymore?
I don't know how you can fire him. Really, I mean, his track record speaks for itself.
Mhm.
I think it would be foolish. Because if you let him go, how
Yeah,
quick is he picked up by somebody? I mean,
snatched up.
I would pay him
Well,
whatever he wants in Tennessee.
Well, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing, like, that being floated, like, what a great fit he would be in Tennessee. Like, I mean,
Don't
maybe.
get me excited, Stacy. Do not do this to me this morning.
Brittany Miss Foxworth over here, Miss Foxworth, if you're nasty. Tillman makes it through the season. She's a Steelers fan and beyond.
I agree.
We shall see. Brittany, what do you think Darren Waller is going to do today? Brittany's a huge Darren Waller fan. She's been on it since back in the summer when we were like, oh, Darren Waller, come on, like really, it's Darren Waller.
I was
Um,
that guy too.
Me too. I totally was that guy. Brittany believed, and she snatched him up. I know for sure in the Queen's Classic, and I'm sure elsewhere too, and that has rewarded her. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. Do you think maybe it's a fun anytime touchdown, Darren Waller, little dart?
Yeah,
Why
totally.
not?
Because when they get down to the goal line in the red zone, he's targeted like a beast. So yeah,
Yeah, why not? And who else say everything and throw it to Malik Washington, please?
right.
No, no. Fancy bro time. Thanks for jumping in the chat too. I'm having an okay season so far. I've got two high stakes leagues that have really big implications today. One of them is over in the FFPC, one of the Gorilla tournaments that is going on. I've got a team there with Adam Krautwurst, Mike Shope, and my buddy Jim Bednar, and we are fighting for first in our division there. Then I've got one over in Kentucky that is it's kind of a weird way that it works. It's a standalone league, but they take the top six and then they move them on to like a points based kind of final
Mhm.
for the last part of the season. So I have Jameer Gibbs on that team. So right now I'm looking good, but I also was really hoping Mike Evans would be back this week because I've been hanging on to him all season, and of course he's not going to play this week. But we'll get to Mike Evans a little bit. Nobody cares about our own fantasy teams; they want to know about theirs. But Fantasy Bro Time also has a question for us, and this is a PPR. So we're going to pick one: Christian Watson versus DeAndre Swift versus Michael Pittman. He's leaning Swift with Pittman in the rain. Yep, we got some weather stuff we're going to talk about here in a second too. And then with Green Bay getting Reed back, I'm with you. I think Reed coming back in makes it even messier in that wide receiver room where you've got Wicks going off last week. Before that, it was Christian Watson. You never really know who it's going to be for those guys. I think that's going to be a high scoring game. I'm just not really sure who it's going to be. But I think Swift is probably your most reliable out of those three.
Yeah, it's close for me. I think I would actually maybe lean Christian Watson here, even with Jaden Reed coming back, because I don't know how many snaps Jaden Reed's really going to get. And even still, Christian Watson has really improved a lot. I like the matchup here for him, but I could see why you would go DeAndre Swift, and it's really close to me. So really it doesn't matter. But if it was me, I trust Christian Watson.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's looked great since he came back. I think, he and Jaden Reed, they're such different players.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what Reed brings to the table, because I think it's the closest we're going to get to what we lost in Tucker Kraft, with his yards after the catch and that kind of thing. Like, his skill set most closely resembles him.
Yeah.
Kraft, but I can't even talk about Tucker Kraft without getting upset. It's still too soon. Oh my goodness.
No, I understand. And I know where you're going with this, because he is like the gadget guy, and he can take a slant and take it to the house. Like, it's just Jaden Reed. He's good.
Yeah. And hopefully, I really thought he'd come back for the Thanksgiving game. I was really thinking he would, but I think just with it being a shorter week and everything, wanted to give him more time. So,
and Green Bay is like the most conservative medical staff in the NFL. So, I mean, I get sitting him out another week. So maybe I'm wrong. And because they are so conservative, he's really ramped up. He's really ready to go. I just want to see it first.
Yeah. I mean, I think they could both have great days. Really.
Yeah.
I think they could both have good days. I do. I think this is a really, I feel like it's just going to be really competitive today. They got a lot at stake today, not even just the division rivalry. You got first place in the North, and then, they just, it's like the Bears are finally good, because this rivalry hasn't really been a true rivalry in the last few seasons. So I'm excited, obviously.
That is definitely like, I'm looking forward to the 1:00 game, the Steelers Ravens, but that 4:00 window, man, I'll be tuned into the Packers Bears as well. You gotta love it.
It'll be great. All right, guys. So we got Colts Jags also as a divisional matchup today. That one I didn't really have a ton of notes on. I think there might be some rain going on in
heavy
that.
rain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heavy rain. So I don't know. I mean, are you feeling any which way about anybody from that particular matchup? Do you feel like they lean more heavily on Jonathan Taylor because of the weather?
They could, but honestly, with heavy rain, there's not really any wind. I'm not as worried about it with guys like Tyler Warren or even Jacoby Myers, because even with the heavy rain, even if there is slight visibility, Jacoby Myers is the short to intermediate guy. Tyler Warren is as well down the middle. He's a big target. So they'll be able to see him. But other than that, if it's not heavy winds or even heavy snow, I guess could kind of scare me a little bit, but really it's the wind or the wet, snowy conditions. I'm not concerned about it. I'm more focused if it's like 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds with gusting up to like 30, 40. That's when I really get like, okay, this is going to be a problem for the air. But other than that, no, I fire these guys up as normal.
I haven't seen any weather reports about the wind being really a big issue anywhere. I think today, like some slight wind, but nothing outrageous today,
Nothing
at least
crazy.
from what I've seen anyway. Alex, thanks for hanging out too. Good luck to you as well this week. All right. So let's talk about that weather. The one that I can see that might be kind of an issue is your game, your Tennessee at Cleveland. We are, I don't know, second week in a row we're being promised a snow game, so it better finally deliver. I want a snow game.
You want a snow game?
I do. I think we might get one in Buffalo too.
Oh, really?
I checked in with my New York, upstate New York sources up there earlier today, and they in fact sent me photographs. It is snowing up there. Not just a light dusting either. It looks like more snow than Kyle we could ever hope to see here in Florida.
Yeah, that's so true. And how do you feel about like heavy snow, Stacy? Like, do you target let's say a defense is out there, right? That's not very good, but they're in a heavy snow game, like Tennessee, for instance. Do you consider, if it's a heavy snow, do you consider starting a defense like that going up against an offense like, say, Cleveland in bad conditions?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would target them. I mean, you're definitely targeting Cleveland anyway, just because they've got Myles Garrett. Poor Cam Ward, I feel like is just going to get terrorized today from him. But especially in the snow, it's going to be cold. You've got like, the ball there. The ball's going to be even harder than usual. It's slippery, because of the snow and that kind of stuff. And then there's just so many things that I think kind of flow from it. Just not only it's like there's snow on the ground, but just how it affects the rest of the play,
I
I
totally
can't
agree.
imagine. Oh, I was going to say, I can't even imagine being a wide receiver and getting hit with a ball. Like,
In the
it feels like
cold.
you're
Yeah.
getting hit with a rock.
But yeah, I totally agree. The Myles Garrett is probably going to have 3+ sacks today. Yeah. It's just going to wreak a lot of havoc on Cam Ward. So I'll pray for a win, an outcome, because even though we're bad and we're estimated to be the number 1 pick,
yeah,
I view things different. I want to win football games.
Yeah.
I want to see improvement.
Right.
And however it shakes out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you do. You should anyway. Like, it's just not fun to watch a bad team that's just bad every single week. Like, you want to see sign. You've got a lot of really good rookies on your team, with like DK and Ward. And how's Restrepo? What happened? I saw him got carted off last week. Like,
yeah, he did. I don't know if he's going to come back this year. That was brutal. That was a brutal injury to him.
That was tough.
Yeah, but I still like, for next year, like I saw some hope in him too as well. And Isle Manor, of course, I see a lot from him. So yeah, I think we're more of an up and coming team here. But Stacy, I'm talking to you as a Packers fan. You haven't seen a bad team in your whole life.
That's fair. That's fair. We've been very lucky, especially at the quarterback position, to have only had 3 quarterbacks. Yeah, since I've been alive, pretty much. Going back.
You haven't had, it's sickening.
It's okay. I'm okay with it.
Of course. I don't blame you. I tease my friend all the time. We go back and forth all the time because he's the Packer fan from Milwaukee. And we talk about it all the time. He's like, I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. Yeah. He's like, what's it like not having a good quarterback, Kyle? And
I wouldn't know.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of heartache.
Yeah, that's so tough, like and it just affects so many things because you can't use your draft picks on other positions to help like solidify your team. You've like constantly got to be looking for quarterbacks. So that's tough, man. I think about like Minnesota's going to have to answer that question, coming into the off season, and what are they going to do? And, so especially after having gotten McCarthy just not that long ago, but it sounds like a Vikings problem to me. Other weather issues today that, like I said, that Cincinnati Buffalo game, going to have some snow there. It doesn't sound like it's really bad weather other than it just being snowy and cold. And Josh Allen knows how to live in that. So not really too worried there. We've also got New Orleans and the Bucks. We may have some rain down here later this afternoon. It's been really gross out here since yesterday. I got just absolutely destroyed in the rain leaving the Tampa Bay Lightning game last night. So it doesn't look much better out there today. And I think it said around 3 or 4 is when it's supposed to hit really bad. So
did they at least win?
No, they didn't win. It was a shutout all the way through. It was 0-0. We played the Islanders. It was like the last 2 minutes of the third period. And they scored, and we just couldn't bring it home. We're missing Nikita Kucherov and our goalie Vasilevsky. So we're riding a 3-game losing streak. It's not good times here. We had a 7-game winning streak. Now we're going on the road. Maybe we can get it together. But you guys didn't come here to listen to my hockey talk. Unfortunately, it would just be all about the Lightning because that's the only team I care about. Unless we hate watch the Panthers, because we have been known to do that. But Green Bay, I don't think it's going to be snowy. I think it's just cold up there from what I've seen. So, yeah. So maybe jump onto some injuries. We are like coming up on that 11:30 hour where we're going to start getting all the notifications coming in about who's official, who's, active, who's not. But big news, though, Trey Benson, if he's not activated this week, his season is over. According to the rules, he has to be activated. Kyle, I forgot what was even wrong with him. It's a meniscus injury. I had to go back and look. He's been on IR for so long.
Yeah, since week 4. Yeah. And it's been good news, bad news, and then it has not rebounded since the bad news. It sucks for him. But man, wheels up for Bam Knight.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. If you got Bam Knight, what about Michael Carter? Any like deeper leagues, low end flex?
Yeah, you could probably in deeper leagues for sure stash him because I mean he is the RB2 right behind Knight. He does get touches behind him, so
Yeah.
he's serviceable as a
Yeah.
flex.
I think there's better options for you on Arizona's offense today. We'll definitely get to them. No Mike Evans, like we said back. It looks more likely like they are saying Thursday against Atlanta. Jaden Reed is back today. Did see that Max Crosby is expected to play. We don't do IDP on this show, but that has a lot of implications for the Denver offense. I think, especially, I think Bo Nix was probably really hoping that he'd be out today.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's one less guy he's got to worry about wrecking havoc on him. But yep, nope, not good news for him. He's playing, right?
He is, yeah. He's definitely going to play. Downgrade Bo Nix probably slightly. Chris Olave has had some issues lately. He is going to be active. It looks like one to watch is Dalton Kincaid. I saw the note, and this is why it's important, right? I mean, he's had some injury issues for the last several weeks. I think a hamstring and I think a knee issue. But they've been, or they're up against Cincy today, who has like literally gives up the most points to the opposing team's tight end. So if there's ever a week to start Dalton Kincaid or really any of the tight ends, on the whoever they're playing against, this is it. So monitor that. I've got him going in a DFS lineup today. I might have to make a quick switch if he's going to be out. Yeah. Let's see who else we got here.
As great as Kincaid's matchup is, Stacy, I'm still a little skittish on Kincaid because, I know, like you said, it's like record breaking that they allow to the tight end for Cincinnati's defense. But it's just, I mean, what worries me is his participation, like 50% snaps. That, and if something pops up on him during the game, there he goes, he's out. Like I have him in Scott Fish. He's been great for me in the Scott Fish Bowl, but I'm actually going. Am I being a homer here? I'm going with Gunnar Helm in the Scott Fish Bowl over him, but only because I want to give him one more week before he comes back. But I get what you're saying. It's a great matchup for Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah. Kyle, your team is doing much better in the Scott Fish Bowl than my team was. I went the let's like F around and find out kind of like a strategy where because of the scoring.
You went heavy tight end, right?
I did. I think I probably have like 8 tight ends in total. And I usually start most of them.
That wasn't a bad strategy at all. I mean, I did the same. I got like 4 or 5 really good ones, and yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm ranked 40 actually. I was like 300 something, but I really took a big jump to 40.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice little chase that I'm doing here. I'm very excited for it.
We got to keep that trophy in the Orlando division because the guy that won last year is in. I think he's
my
the
division.
Dolphins. I think he's in the Dolphins team.
He's in my division. I purposely chased him because I knew he won. I said, I want this division. I want the challenge. So my team name was I Want the Smoke. And boy, I took it. He actually missed the playoffs this year, unfortunately. He had a tough year. Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta keep that. We gotta keep that big, beautiful trophy in Orlando. If you guys haven't done, if you're out there listening, you haven't done the Scott Fish Bowl before, go sign up now. You can sign up for next year to be, to get in. You can put your name in and everything. Do that now. It's such a fun event every year, especially if you do the live drafts. So just a little PSA for those of you out there. Thanks for hanging out here. Place to be. What's up to you as well? Let's see. Who else do we have on our list here? Parker Washington is not expected to play. Have you seen any news on Drake London at all this week?
I don't think he's playing. I think he's out again this week. He was week to week. I think his possibility come back next week, but he's definitely out this week.
Because it was so weird because that's what I thought. And then I've got a home league on Yahoo, and it had like 18 points as a projection for him. And I was like, hang on, he's not playing. Why does this have like a projection? So that's what I was like kind of trying to scour some news to see if maybe I'd missed something. But okay, Drake London not playing. Now, like we said, Arizona, we got Greg Dortch to the IR. Marvin Harrison's out again this week. Michael Wilson is going to make our start list. We'll get to him in a second. Chargers, Amarian Hampton, if you waited, all this time, you are hopefully going to be rewarded because he's active. He's going to be active today. Herbert should be active today too. He had surgery on his hand, right? I know it's just he had like that like fracture or something like that.
Yeah.
And they did do surgery. Curious to see how that's going to work out.
He's going to play through it. A lot like Aaron Rodgers in a way.
Tough guy.
Not as bad as him.
Yeah. Not as weird as Rodgers, but there's still time.
Yeah.
I don't think Rodgers was as weird as he is now at the beginning of his career either. So Justin Herbert, you've got some time. Pat Bryant going to be limited a little bit with a hammy. We're going to talk about him too. Kyle, did you have anybody else that you were kind of watching for today that we haven't already hit?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it on that because you asked about Drake London, and yeah, that nails it on the head.
Yeah.
From what I can see. If we missed anything, please feel free to drop it in the chat, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Put those in the chat too. You guys are, I'm sure, going to see we've got like 3 minutes until 11:30. So once those start coming out, if you see them, throw them in the chat. Let us know. We'll get to those too. But why don't we start hitting our start sits? Who are the guys that you are like really, really just on board with this week?
So one that I'm really excited for is Luther Burden, Stacy, against your Packers. Green Bay plays the 4th most zone in the league, and Burden has done really well against zone coverage. I mean, he ranks top 10 in fantasy points per route run against zone among players with at least 100 routes, and he's top 12 in yards per route run at 2.54. And this is all with Rome Odunze in the lineup. Now he has a stretch fracture in his foot. I really, really, really love Luther Burden today against the Green Bay Packers.
I saw a clip from him. It's been floating around the internet. I'm not sure if this was recent. It probably was, but I think they were asking him essentially about teams that passed on him in the draft. And his answer was kind of like he knows every single team that passed on him, and all the comments were like, "Oh, he's giving like Amon-Ra, like having the list and everything." So I like Luther Burden. I think he's definitely got that second half of the season rookie wide receiver, kind of boom that's coming on, where they finally figure things out and have much more of an impact in the second half of the season than they typically do right off the bat. Yeah, I mean, I don't want him to do well this week, but I think he's right though. I love that pick. I think that's a really good one. And I love the look. I think that's part of what makes Amon-Ra just himself, is just kind of having that little chip on his shoulder. And I think if you're a wide receiver, that kind of gives you a little bit of an edge. So I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, sounds like he's got. I won't call it a revenge game, but it's kind of like a revenge game for all these teams that passed on him. So that's pretty cool.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. One of mine is going to be Chase Brown this week.
Yeah, good call.
I mean, they're playing Buffalo. I get it. It's snowy, but if there's a snow game, you want your running back. You want to take those guys, right? You don't have to. I mean, he is really great in the passing game as well. I think he went 7 for 7, I think, last week on receptions. But he's really turned it around in the second half. Like the first part of the season, he was terrible. I think we were all talking about like what a bust it was. You're taking him in like the second round, third round. What a waste of a pick it was. But he's going back to week 8 against the Jets. Like he's had no lower than a RB13 finish. Buffalo, obviously one of the softest against the run this season. They're giving up a ton of fantasy points, a ton of rushing yards to opposing teams' running backs. I just think it's a really good matchup for Chase Brown today.
Yeah, I really like that call. And I think his over-under rushing receiving is like 75 yards, something like that. Love the over on that. Yeah. He's going to be used a lot in this game. I also like Devin Neal against Tampa Bay, Stacy. I know it's been disappointing. Last week, 17 total touches, just 69 yards. But he's getting legit opportunities now. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, he's run more routes than any other running back. So that's opportunity right there. Oh, yeah. If he finds the end zone, I think we take those 17 touches for 69 yards, right? Yeah. So, yeah, keep faith in Devin Neal. I say start him as a low-end RB2 or flex. Volume is king, man, and he's getting it. Doesn't have much competition in the backfield with just Evan Hall up on the practice squad. So, yeah, I really like Devin Neal in this game against the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, Bucs are giving up 24th most fantasy points to opposing teams' running backs this season also. So, love that. Michael Wilson is going to be my second.
Okay.
Like you said, Harrison's out, Dortch is out. They got an iffy run game. They're probably going to be playing behind to the Rams. I assume they're going to be playing behind with the Rams.
Yeah.
Brissett only has 2 games where he is thrown for less than 40 times. So just like the high volume passing attack that they've gone with since he took over, we're not going to see Kyler again for the rest of the season. This is Brissett's team now. Maybe it's Brissett's team next year. Who knows? Who's to say? But this obviously benefits Trey McBride, benefits Wilson. I think the Rams are going to really try to kind of shut down McBride, or at least make it so that he's not the one who torches them. Which obviously is going to leave opportunities for the next guy, in the pecking order, which is going to be Michael Wilson. Garbage time points count just as much as any other points. So I love it. I think both of his monster games came when he had 18 and 15 targets each. So without those guys, without Harrison there, without Dortch there, just opens up so many more targets for Wilson. So I like this. I feel like it's going to be a big day for him. Probably losing effort for the Cardinals, but unless you're a Cardinal fan, we don't care about that.
Well, that's funny you say that, Stacy, because I was actually going to ask you. You like Michael Wilson, and I do too. But how do you feel about Jacoby Brissett if you're like streaming a quarterback and you have Brissett? Do you feel good about this with all his guys out this week against the Rams?
Yeah, I do, because I think he can still make it up with McBride and Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if he were left with, like, I don't know, Dortch and somebody else, maybe not so much. I don't know. I'm talking crap about Greg Dortch, and what did he go off for? Something crazy a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he did.
I
asked for selfish reasons because I have Brissett and I have JJ McCarthy, and I also have Drake May, but this is why I'm in this quarterback controversy. Yeah. I'm kind of on an island here about JJ McCarthy. You know that. We've talked on other shows about JJ McCarthy. My feeling on him is he's been inconsistent, but there's one thing he's been consistent at, and that's with good defenses. He's actually done really well if you look. Week 1 against Chicago, he was like quarterback 11, and weeks 9 and 10, he was like quarterback 13 and 14. So with bad matchups, he's done well. And I know he's getting a lot of hate for a guy who's only played 6 games. He's been injured. When he got drafted, he didn't really get a chance at all in his rookie season. Then he comes back and then has the ankle injury and then has the concussion. The kid's only played 6 games and we're all hating on him. And I remember, we hated on Sam Darnold. We hated on Baker Mayfield, right?
Oh, yeah.
We thought he was done. So I don't know. I just feel like the kid needs more snaps, needs more opportunity. He hasn't gotten it yet. I am not one to bail on JJ McCarthy yet. And I know I'm probably like 1 out of a million that feels that way. Cause I see it all. And it just, I don't know. I just think he hasn't had a fair shot yet. And this is the week, Stacy, like if he's going to like rebound from what we have seen, Washington is the defense that he's going to do it. And then he has plus matchups after that with Dallas and New York. So I'm kind of on the JJ McCarthy side, but I know that everyone listening right now is probably tuning me out right now.
Well, I think it's a tough week to have to start him. I think if I were in your, I think I'd have to go with Brissett. Like if your playoff hopes hinge on,
and it is
right on McCarthy or Brissett, I think you're going to hate yourself if you put McCarthy in and it just continues. Like he hasn't really made any changes. Or they haven't really been able to kind of do whatever magic KOC can do with these guys. If it were any other week than week 14 and you weren't like risking playoff hopes on it, throw him in there, see if he can get back, on track and everything. But man, I just don't know that I can do it this week.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I hope good things for him, because that's so hard. Like you want these guys to succeed, like I at least I do, like watching this, like you don't want to see like guys coming into the league, especially the younger guys, and they're just not doing well. They're having so much. Thank God he's in Minnesota. Could you imagine if he was like in somewhere like New York or somewhere like that, where he would just be getting he's already getting destroyed in the media, but like it would be so much worse if he was, in like a really, really big market like that or something. But I always want people to succeed. So I hope KOC can do whatever, like I said, he does, whatever kind of magic QB wand he's got back there.
And that's fair, Stacy. Like, I probably need to be smart about this and go with Brissett, but I'll say this. I think you'll agree. I think JJ McCarthy is at least a very good DFS play because everybody is down on him. And I think he's got back in quarterback one opportunity here. Finishes QB 12, 11. DFS, I think I'm going to take a stab at it.
Well, he's got to be so cheap, right?
Yeah,
He's got to be such a good value in DFS today. I don't know what his
Yeah.
numbers are, but he can't be expensive.
No, he's not at all. I think it was maybe 4,900 on DraftKings, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, go check out JJ McCarthy. Maybe
take a stab at him.
Why not? What do you okay, so speaking of JJ McCarthy, what do you think about, again, I'm going rogue here, but like what do you do? We're not benching Justin Jefferson. We're just not. We're not going to do it. We probably should, looking at his numbers, but we're not gonna. Right? But what about Addison? What do you do with Jordan Addison?
Yeah, that one's kind of tough too. Yeah, because you are going to play Jefferson, and even he's been a little disappointing. But you know what? In this matchup against Washington, if you need a flex play, I think you can flex out Addison. I feel okay about it, depending on your options. But I mean, this is the matchup for the Vikings offense, and Kevin O'Connell has simplified the offense for JJ McCarthy. And I don't really think that that's a bad thing. I think everybody's kind of laughing at it, making jokes, but he's basically like a rookie in my opinion, JJ McCarthy. So simplify the offense, make him understand things a little bit more, and good things will happen all around for this offense. But I understand the skittishness on starting Jordan Addison as a flex. But yeah, I think you can in against Washington.
Well, and you know what, too? I think I saw that Washington is getting one of their safeties back this week. So if they're getting a little bit more help, on defense and everything, maybe it opens up things for Addison. Maybe there's a little bit more pressure on JJ, and Addison maybe gets a few more opportunities because of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's oh gosh, I can't. Poor Justin Jefferson. Like, it's kind of like he's always been QB proof, and we found what broke him. we found what his kryptonite.
And he's actually being so positive too in the media too. And from what I can hear too, like he's still got McCarthy's back. He's saying the right things to him in practice. And whether he's just giving us a whole bunch of fluff that he's doing great in practice, we won't know till today. But he's saying all the right things, at least, to support his guy.
Which is so important too. And I've seen Aaron Jones like going over to McCarthy, like on the sidelines and everything. And like, oh man, at least he's surrounded by people that are being supportive. So,
and I don't think Aaron Jones meant to make McCarthy look bad in that presser, but he did though. Dummy it down was not the right word to say. He kind of knew that too, and he still went with it.
Oh man. Oh gosh, do you have any? I've got a few honorable mentions here that I just kind of want to throw out there that might be good for today. Just some matchup based or whatever. Guys giving you good vibes.
Yeah, I've got Pat Bryant. Maybe it's more for a deeper league, like 14 teams. But I like Pat Bryant today in a game against the Raiders. He's starting to carve out a larger role in this offense. Since week 10, he's had 5 targets per game, team leading 55.7 yards per game. And the Raiders allow the 7th most fantasy points to wide receivers. And get this, Stacy, slot heavy receivers have crushed the Raiders. Keenan Allen, Luke McCaffrey, and Parker Washington have all scored at least 13 half PPR fantasy points against Las Vegas. Why is this so great for Pat Bryant? Well, he lines up in the slot at 57.7% for the season. So I think he's set up really nicely today against the Raiders.
I love that pick. I had Pat Bryant on my list too. I was just I was looking at the breakdown of the Broncos target share over the last 3 games. His target share has gone from 7.4 up to 15.7 over the last 3 games. Also, Troy Franklin, I can't even say it. Anyway, Franklin, there we go, enunciate, has gone down significantly as well. You've also, seen a few things just going on with that Denver offense that make me really, really interested in Pat Bryant. I love that pick.
The rise to Pat Bryant is happening. When it was Troy Franklin like several weeks ago, and now maybe we're shifting towards Pat Bryant.
Exactly. I also had Amari and Hampton today. I know we disagree on this, so I want to get to this one. Here's why I like him. So fresh off the IR, Jalen Carter is out today. So the Eagles, they are 25th in opposing teams running back or fantasy points to opposing teams running back. It's a week 14, right? Again, this is what we just talked about. If you're patient and you held on to him this entire time, you have to play him today. I think you do. Unless you have been able to go grab somebody off of waivers that can replace the production that he was giving you, I think you kind of have to start him. And again, if you've been waiting this whole time, like what else are you waiting for, right? If you're trying to get in the playoffs, that kind of thing, and you bench him and he happens to go off and then you miss the playoffs, like you're going to hate yourself. So this is my spiel for Amari and Hampton today.
No, and Stacy, I totally get it. I know everyone is just excited to have Amari and Hampton back. I get wanting to start them. I mean, they do. The Eagles give up the 8th most fantasy points to running backs. I caution it this week. This, to me, feels like a bounce back for the defense, for Philadelphia's run defense. They got destroyed by DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai last week. But before that shellacking from weeks 8 to 12, Eagles actually gave up the 5th fewest rushing yards. With it being Hampton's first game back from his fractured ankle, and Vidal looks so good in his absence, Stacy, I do believe that Jim Harbaugh will use both running backs, at least in this game, and maybe kind of just ease Omari and Hampton in. I just don't think you're going to get that RB1 load right out of the gate, 10 weeks from a fractured ankle. I mean, I could be wrong because, Omari and Hampton is clearly the guy there for the Chargers, but I think it's going to be a slow move in. Jim Harbaugh is going to use both backs because Vidal looks so good in his replacement.
He really has. He's looked fantastic. I think maybe if you have a team where you were able to get Vidal off of waivers while you were waiting for Hampton, I like Vidal over Hampton. The team that I'm starting him on, my running backs have been pretty thin, and I don't have that issue. I wasn't able to get Vidal off waivers. I got beat on the fab for that. So I am starting Hampton in that situation. But I think if you have both, I think I do like Vidal maybe a little bit more then.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're thin at running back and like you're just so desperate, like, oh my God, I finally got him back, I get starting him because he could splash in the end zone for you, even if he gets low yards.
Yeah. Last one I've got for you, Brenton Strange versus Indy. Like it's him, it's Jacoby Myers taking over that offense. Brian Thomas Jr. is a ghost of himself. I don't feel like I can trust him at all in any format at this point. I've benched him in a couple places. I haven't rage cut him yet, but I'm almost there. And Brenton Strange, he was one of the guys I was really high on coming into the season as somebody that you could get at a really great value because nobody was really thinking about the tight end position in Jacksonville, right? But you go there, right? If you're taking a look at that, there's nobody there behind him challenging him, for targets, for snaps, anything like that, because, you got Johnny Munt. That's literally who's there. So you've got a good piece of that offense that Trevor Lawrence really likes to throw to. He's one of the very few tight ends who is not touchdown dependent. That position just lends itself to guys getting in the end zone, and that's where your points are coming from. But if you take a look at Brenton Strange, his last 2 games back, he's been tight end 4, tight end 7 since that return. He went 5 for 5 in week 12, almost 100 yards there against Arizona, did not get in the end zone. So I really like him this week and really every week, honestly, as a part of that, unless something miraculous happens with BTJ and he all of a sudden gets it. I don't think anybody's counting on that at this point. So I am big on Brenton Strange this week and beyond.
Yeah, I totally like that call. I mean, he's getting used so much in this offense too. And we talked about it earlier in the show where there's going to be some heavy rain in this game. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that Trevor Lawrence will probably lean on even more now in the rain because he's a big body for Trevor Lawrence to get the ball to in open space. So I like the call here for Brenton Strange.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think we gotta get a little negative. We gotta go with some sits. Kyle, who are your guys that you don't want any part of this week?
It's actually Ashton Genty. I don't feel comfortable starting him this week. I mean, Denver allows the 5th fewest rushing yards per game and 5th fewest fantasy points to the running back position. And as great as Genty's been, I mean, he's running back 11 in PPR, just ahead of Derrick Henry. But I feel like he's touchdown dependent, Stacy. He does have 8 total touchdowns on the year, and to his credit, he is closing in on 1,000 scrimmage yards. But he's also failed to reach 70 combined rushing and receiving yards 7 times. Yeah. 7 times this season, he hasn't hit 70 total yards. I mean, his offensive line does him no service whatsoever. I mean, the Raiders are ranked the worst offensive line across the board, if not near the worst, depending on where you look. But it shows, too, in his 54.7% run stuff rate, which is second worst. And among running backs with 100-plus carries, he's 35th out of 38 in yards before contact. So just 1.4 yards before someone actually hits him. So, I mean, I'm out on Ashton Jeanty this week against the Broncos, and I don't even know. I mean, of course, if I have him, he's my guy going forward as an RB2, but I don't feel good about it with this offensive line being such a mess.
I think this is such a lesson for drafts next year, because taking guys on teams with a really bad offensive line usually doesn't work out. I kind of want to go back and do some research on that. But this is one where it's just so glaringly obvious, right? Like Ashton Jeanty going in the first round, the early second round in a lot of drafts, thinking oh, it's fate. He's going to be the guy. There's really nobody challenging him. And we're all kind of, forgetting about how detrimental that line has been to him, or would have been, as we're drafting him this season, but it's really played out that way. So I'm totally with you. I didn't like him last week. I think he did okay, but it's, I am right there with you. We are on the same page with this. Jeanty is just, it's hard to have to start him right now, I think.
And when they played the Broncos earlier in the season, he did okay. He got lucky. He finished RB 14 for that week, or maybe 13 for that week, but it's because he scored a touchdown. He only had 63 total yards in that game. But yeah, I mean, he's been okay for you if you did draft him, because he's going about where you took him. So you're not getting negative on a loss from where you drafted him, but you're not getting a gain either. And you got pretty lucky if you drafted him, because he's got 8 touchdowns on it. He saved you with the touchdowns.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like the Travion Henderson situation is completely different. At September, everybody's taking him in the 3rd round. He's skyrocketing up the draft boards, and now we're all ready to throw ourselves into traffic. But one of mine is going to be Dallas Goedert this week. He was just absolutely crushing it the first half of this season. Looked great. His targets have plummeted, but especially over the last 2 weeks. Only 2 in week 12, 4 in week 13. He hasn't eclipsed 10 fantasy points. Fantasy point? I said that weird. Fantasy points since week 8. He was kind of on that touchdown. I was calling it a little touchdown warpath until week 8, but he hasn't scored since then. Chargers are very strong against opposing tight ends. They're allowing the 6th fewest fantasy points over the season. I don't like it. I think you're also going to be missing Lane Johnson with this game. And so I'm really worried about Jalen Hurts, the loss of Johnson there and what it does to that line and how they protect him and give him time to get it to Saquon, get it to, all the other, pass catchers. So I'm kind of down on the Eagles pass catching room today, but especially Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options too in Philadelphia that Jalen Hurts can go to, and even when you get down to the goal line, you got to worry about the tush push down on the 1 or the 2 yard line. There's so many different variables. I mean, you got AJ Brown crying for the ball more, so they're going to try to give him the ball even more. And yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's tough because Dallas Goedert he looked so good early on, and then he kind of just. And that's kind of who he's been, actually, his whole career. He's never really scored many touchdowns, But this year, he's actually done pretty good about it in the beginning of the season. Now he's coming back down to earth where we know who Dallas Goedert is.
Yeah, exactly. Who else is on Santa's naughty list for you this week?
One of the games that you're actually looking forward to, tonight's game, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. Woody Marks. I'm sitting Woody Marks since the bye in week 6. He is getting the majority of the snaps at 59.6%, but he's not very impressive with it. I mean, he's averaging 3.5 yards per carry, going up against a defense like Kansas City, who only allow a total of just 100 yards total. Yeah. And in fact, this run defense is so good that only one rusher this season, James Cook, back in week 9, rushed for 100+ yards on them. That's it. With Woody Marks basically splitting with Nick Chubb 60-40, just doesn't bode well for a big day for any of these running backs, in my opinion. You're basically hoping for a touchdown, and that's not something I want to do, is hope for a touchdown against the Kansas City Chiefs on the ground.
No, I agree. What's the line? It's 41.5 today.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a little bit on the lower side.
It is. Our highest one tonight is Cincinnati Buffalo, 53.5. Lowest one is going to be that Cleveland Tennessee game, 33.5. Everywhere else is kind of floating around the middle. LA Arizona is 47, so it's a little bit higher than usual. But yeah, everybody else is kind of like in between 40 and 45 there.
Is that where your game's at? Packers Bears?
Ours is at 43.5.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my guys that I'm not super excited about, it's going to be Jerry Jeudy.
Shocking.
This is kind of honest. No one's really excited about Jerry Jeudy. This is the right answer right here. Every Browns player is on the bad list today. It's just, I don't like going again those bad weather games. Don't love that, but it's just he's just been bad this season. The last 4 games, especially, not even getting 6 points in the last 4 games. I just feel like you just really can't trust anybody outside the running backs and occasionally Harold Fannin in this offense right now.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really done anything really all season to get you excited for, right?
No, and I want to know. I can't remember what was his ADP. It was something it was way higher than it should have been this year.
I don't know, but I want to say like maybe 80s,
something like that. I need to go. Where can I'm gonna find this. Maybe
10th round, 9th round.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I can't either right now. I can't find it off the top of my head. Hang on here.
But wherever it was, he's not giving you a profit on that draft pick whatsoever. And how rude of him, right, Stacy, to get in Shadur Sanders' face, with on the bench there. And he's the one that's like not trying that hard,
Right. So here we go. Thank you, Fantasy Data. I was able to find it real quick. He was going before Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, Emeka Ibuka, Stephon Diggs, Jacoby Myers, Jordan Addison, Khalil Shakir, Jawan Jennings, Jaden Reed, Keenan Allen, like all these guys. He was going.
So this sounds like a 5th or 6th round pick, huh?
Yeah, he was wide receiver 31 in PPR formats.
Ooh, man, that's rough.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. Jerry Jeudy, off of him today, and I can safely say for the rest of the season, I would not be starting Jerry Jeudy. Yeah. Kyle, you got any honorable mentions as we are getting close to our 12 o'clock hour? We're going to get you guys out of here ready to go set your lineups and get ready for the 1 o'clock kickoffs.
Yeah, I got one more. DK Metcalf. I project this game to be low scoring against Baltimore. Not a lot of points. I talked about that earlier. Rodgers still dealing with that hand injury. Probably see Rodgers more in the pistol and the shotgun again. We have seen DK now in 3 games in a row, not combined for less than 100 receiving yards. And 2 of those defense were plus matchups too against Cincinnati and Chicago. Not to mention the tight ends have been feasting, Stacy, particularly your boy, Darnell Washington, who since week 8 is actually 2nd on that team in yards behind Metcalf. Not by much, but only a difference of 7 yards between the two. And with Rodgers dealing with that hand, Stacy, it's not a throwing hand. Don't get me wrong, but I still think this game is going to be ugly. Run the football, keep Rodgers safe, and he'll continue his low ADOT throws and not very appealing for DK Metcalf, and maybe even going forward for DK. He's been such a disappointment. And we talked about Jerry Jeudy. DK Metcalf's been another one, and I'll fully admit it. I was actually kind of on DK Metcalf in August, September. I was on him. I was drafting him, but in places that I could. But it's just been kind of a Debbie Downer.
It's been rough. So I happened to look over, and I still have the ADP screen up over here. He was wide receiver 20 overall this season. Has definitely not lived up to that for sure.
Not at all.
No, I've got a couple honorable mentions. I'm downgrading Saquon today. Yeah, obviously been a disappointing season for him. No surprise there. Also downgrading Brock Bowers. The last time they played Denver, and look, you're starting Brock Bowers. Let's not get cute here. Week 14 is not the time to be cute, right? But not for nothing. His worst game of the season came against Denver when they played in week 10, 3.7 game of fantasy points. That Denver defense is nothing to be messed with. So I don't love it. And they have Surtain back now. So I definitely don't like that. Yeah. And I found this little stat. I was looking for, I don't know what I was looking for, but I came across this stat from PFF about Sam Darnold that kind of it gave me the ick a little bit for Sam Darnold. But it was that the Falcons blitz at the second highest rate on passing downs in the NFL, 45.6. They're only behind the Vikings. A week ago, the Vikings blitzed Sam Darnold, 82 on, 66% of his dropbacks, which gave him 8 for 18 yards.
Oh, yeah. That's
not great. Yeah, no, thank you. So yeah, those are going to be two no thanks for me. But yeah, if you guys have any last minute questions, throw those on in there real quick. We're going to move on to our Monday Night Football picks here. Maddox, who is currently destroying something in the floor over here. He's found something to chew on that he probably shouldn't be chewing on. We'll have to get to him in a minute. He's taking advantage of me being distracted. He had some hesitations today making his picks between the Eagles and the Chargers. Took him a little while to really commit to a team. I had to kind of set those little helmets back up for him. So
the treats came out. I didn't
put any treats in there. He's not food motivated. He really doesn't care about treats.
Good for him.
He's more of a toy kind of guy, but here you go, guys. Hopefully you all will enjoy Maddox, his thought process and his decision-making process and his Monday Night Football picks. I think he finally goes with the Chargers. Took them twice. Normally he runs off. He scampers away with the helmet, and I have to go pry it out of his mouth later.
How's he doing on record? I know it's been rough, but has he rebounded from a couple of weeks ago?
He's got about 4 or 5 right picks now.
Right.
He's due. He's due. He's definitely due. I forget what the how many Monday Night Football games there have been because of all those weeks that we had 2 in the same week. So I've definitely lost count. I should probably update his record because he's gotten a lot better. Just like those rookie wide receivers, Kyle, he's definitely having a stronger second half of the season than he did with the first half. So he's gotta get his process sorted out, and maybe next year he'll do a lot better. We'll see.
I can't wait to see him next year. I think he'll get hot.
Yeah,
it'll be his year. That's his breakout.
It's his breakout, exactly. Breakout his sophomore season. Anything that you're looking forward to with this Monday night game? I know we've talked a lot about the Eagles so far, and about the Chargers as well. Anything else that we want to send it home with?
No, I mean, I think you firing up your Eagles, your Jalen Hurts, your AJ Browns, your Devontae Smiths. And I know you mentioned to sit Saquon Barkley. That's a tough one. I mean, I get where you're coming from with it, but if you're like a Marion Hampton and you need your RB1, you might have to start them, but just temper your expectations in that one. Right. And then on the Charger side, all 3 wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, are startables for me as a flex play. Yeah. But they just feel very risky with this injury to Justin Herbert's hand. I don't know how much throwing he's going to do in this. And even Justin Herbert, in my opinion, if you can stream a different quarterback, I'm for that. And, of course, I do say to sit O'Marion Hampton, but totally understand that you got to start him. You got to start him.
Yeah. I think those are all right on. Kyle, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. The Sunday, spending your time with us. Tell the people where they can find you online, where they can find all of your content, and what days you're on.
Yeah, on X, it's KZ1180. Find me there and check out our Fourth and Frames channel on Fantasy and Frames Wednesday night, 10 p.m.
Nice. All right, guys, we are going to get you out of here. It is noon. Go make those last minute lineup changes, throw in some DFS picks, make some Christmas money for you. We'll be back next week, 11 a.m., same time as usual, week 15. Until then, guys, have a great day and may all your playoff dreams come true.